Aging is not your enemy. Your lack of harmony is. Welcome to Stoic Valor, where every word is crafted to awaken your inner strength and remind you that true youth is not measured in years, but in the resilience of your spirit. For the Stoics, the body was never a temple of vanity. It was a vessel of virtue. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." And yet he trained his body with discipline, nourished it with simplicity, and treated it as a servant to his reason. In the same way, when we talk about the foods that slow the effects of aging, we are not speaking merely of biological preservation. We are speaking of a moral alignment between the mind, the body, and nature. Aging, in the Stoic sense, is not decay, it is transformation. The wise man does not fear the wrinkles that appear on his skin, but the corrosion that begins in his soul when he abandons moderation and clarity. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." In the same way, we waste our vitality not because of time, but because of imbalance, excess, indulgence, and the absence of conscious choice in what we consume. There are hidden foods that do more than nourish the body. They restore equilibrium. The Stoic would not call them superfoods, as the modern world does. He would call them instruments of harmony. Imagine an olive, simple, humble, timeless. Epictetus would remind us that even in this modest fruit lies the essence of the Stoic diet, pure, natural, born of patience and sun. The olive tree does not rush its growth, and neither should you rush your years. Longevity, in the Stoic view, is not about adding years to your life, but adding virtue to your years. Let us begin with the first of these hidden allies, the walnut. Shaped like the human brain, it teaches a silent truth. What resembles wisdom often nourishes it. Rich in healthy fats and antioxidants, the walnut feeds both reason and reflection. The Stoics saw the mind as the garden of the soul. What you plant in it and what you feed it will determine your inner peace. To eat with intention is to live with intention. When you choose foods that strengthen clarity, you are choosing to live in accordance with nature, the highest Stoic virtue. The second is green tea, the drink of patience. When you sip it, you practice the art of slowing down. Seneca would have smiled at this ritual, for he taught that he who is brave is free. In a world that races toward indulgence, to choose slowness is an act of freedom. The catechins within it fight oxidation, not just of the body but of the mind dulled by haste. Each cup becomes a meditation, a moment where you remember that your youth is not slipping away, but simply changing form. Next, the pomegranate, a fruit of endurance. Its countless seeds mirror the infinite opportunities hidden within each day. In ancient Rome, it symbolized life's continuity, the cycle of renewal. The Stoics saw this as a metaphor for the cosmos itself, an ordered system where decay feeds growth. When you eat the pomegranate, you take part in that cosmic rhythm. You honor life by embracing change, but let us step deeper. The Stoics were not obsessed with diet. They were devoted to discipline. Epictetus warned, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Aging accelerates when we surrender mastery, when we eat not from hunger, but from emotion, when we sleep without rest, live without presence, speak without meaning. The hidden foods are not only on your plate, they are the virtues you consume each day. Temperance, gratitude, awareness. These are the nutrients of the soul. The fourth food is the humble lentil. The Stoics admired what was modest and sufficient. Lentils fed armies, philosophers, and workers alike. Their nourishment was simple yet complete. To eat simply is to declare independence from luxury. The modern world teaches that anti-aging lies in exotic supplements, but the Stoic knows it lies in sufficiency, in learning that enough is a form of wealth. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Now imagine a meal where each bite is deliberate. The Stoic eats not for pleasure alone, but for purpose. He knows that the harmony between body and mind is fragile. A single act of indulgence can disturb it, but so can unnecessary deprivation. Balance is the invisible thread that ties youth to wisdom. The fifth hidden food, blueberries, small, concentrated, potent. They remind us that power often hides in small forms. These berries slow the oxidation that time imposes, just as meditation slows the oxidation of your thoughts. In every handful lies a lesson in mindfulness. Cherish the present, for it contains everything that endures. The Stoic knows that to live long is not the same as to live well. One can exist for a century and never awaken, or live for 40 years and touch eternity in each dawn. As we move toward understanding the body as a reflection of virtue, we realize this: your aging is not your enemy, your neglect is. When you eat without awareness, when you speak without thought, when you rush without meaning, that is when time consumes you. But when you align with nature, when you treat your body as a partner in your quest for wisdom, time becomes your ally. Seneca advised, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. Every morning your cells renew, your thoughts renew, your opportunities renew. The foods you choose and the thoughts you allow determine whether that renewal is strong or weak, pure or polluted." So in this journey toward understanding the 7 hidden foods that reduce the effects of aging, remember, you are not battling time, you are cultivating harmony. The Stoic path is not about denying pleasure, but about refining it, turning consumption into contemplation, and eating into an act of virtue. When you master what you feed your body and mind, you master the flow of your days. Because in the end, aging is not what happens to you, it is what you do with what happens to you. The wise man does not seek to live forever. He seeks to live well today. To apply the Stoic view of aging and nourishment is to move beyond theory and into discipline. The philosophers of antiquity were not scholars locked in towers. They were practitioners of life, warriors of the mind. Every meal, every breath, every morning was a training ground. If the first section revealed the philosophy, now we bring it to the ground, into your hands, your habits, your plate. Imagine waking before dawn. The world is quiet. The air carries the weight of stillness. Marcus Aurelius began his mornings reminding himself, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive." Before reaching for your phone, before rushing into obligations, you breathe deeply and give thanks. Gratitude, the first hidden nutrient of youth, cleanses the spirit more powerfully than any antioxidant. It slows the aging of the mind by grounding you in the present moment. Now let us walk through a Stoic morning ritual, a bridge between the body and the soul. Begin with a cup of warm water and lemon. Simple, cleansing, aligned with nature. This practice is not just about hydration. It is a conscious act of beginning the day in harmony. As you sip, repeat internally, "Today I will eat to strengthen, not to numb." In that sentence lies the seed of mastery. Breakfast should be light but deliberate. Think of foods that bring clarity, oatmeal with blueberries and a handful of walnuts. As you eat, resist distraction. No phone, no television, no rush. The Stoic meal is not about the taste alone. It is about the consciousness with which you receive it. Epictetus taught, "What is the fruit of these teachings? only the most beautiful and proper harvest: tranquility, fearlessness, and freedom. You practice freedom when you eat by choice, not by impulse. During the day, as challenges arise, remember that stress is the fastest way to age the soul. The Stoic response is awareness, not avoidance. When tension appears, breathe deeply and say to yourself, this too is an opportunity for patience. Every surge of frustration, every moment of irritation is a chance to slow the oxidation of your mind. Emotional stability is the truest anti-aging force. Now let us turn to the physical body. Stoicism was never against movement. The ancient philosophers walked long distances, trained their endurance, and practiced moderation in physical effort. You do not need to chase youth through brutal exercise. You need to maintain flow through constancy. Choose movement that aligns with your temperament: walking, stretching, yoga, strength training. But treat it as meditation. When your body moves, your thoughts settle. Seneca wrote, "A mind that is stretched by new experiences can never go back to its old dimensions. In motion, you expand, and then comes nourishment." Let us return to the 7 hidden foods that guide this path. We spoke of walnuts, green tea, pomegranates, lentils, and blueberries. Now we meet the 6th, turmeric, a root that burns away inflammation and reminds us of fire, not the fire of destruction, but of purification. The Stoic fire is the inner logos, the rational flame that transforms chaos into order. When you add turmeric to your meals, remember that you are symbolically tending that inner flame, keeping it bright, not letting it be smothered by carelessness or excess. The 7th food is dark chocolate. Pure, unprocessed, rich in polyphenols and symbolism alike. Bitterness and sweetness in balance. The Stoic loves this contrast, because life itself is a mixture of both. When you taste its depth, you are reminded of the principle Marcus Aurelius lived by. Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny. The bitterness of the cacao mirrors the trials that make you resilient. To appreciate it without craving is to understand moderation. Now, how do we bring all of this into daily practice? Begin with awareness of what you consume. Each meal, ask yourself, does this serve my body, my mind, and my purpose? If the answer is unclear, pause. The pause is where wisdom enters. This single habit can change your life. It transforms eating into meditation, presence into peace. Next, practice intermittent simplicity. Once a week, eat like a Stoic, 1 meal of lentils, olive oil, and water. This is not punishment, it is remembrance. A reminder that you are more than your cravings. Seneca practiced voluntary discomfort to train his mind against fear of loss. He said, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare." When you do this, you age slower because you stop being enslaved by desire. Freedom is youth. In your evenings, return to reflection. Write a brief journal, 3 lines. What did I do today that strengthened me? What weakened me? What can I change tomorrow? Marcus Aurelius did this nightly, not for perfection, but for clarity. This small ritual detoxifies the mind before sleep, releasing mental toxins that no diet can cleanse. Aging begins in the thoughts we repeat. Renewal begins in the silence we create. Halfway through your journey, pause and look around you. Notice how easily the world sells the illusion of youth. Creams, pills, extremes. But the Stoic knows what is sold is dependency. True vitality is cultivated. It grows from within, from the alignment of habits, choices, and thought. You can eat the healthiest foods and still decay from resentment. You can have wrinkles and still radiate serenity. The Stoic understands that the beauty of aging lies in presence, in living each year with deliberate calm. If this message is resonating with you, don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Valor, because here we don't just reflect, we transform. Now let us deepen the application. Each day, pick one of the 7 hidden foods and make it sacred. Monday, walnuts for wisdom. Tuesday, green tea for patience. Wednesday, pomegranate for renewal. Thursday, lentils for simplicity. Friday, blueberries for mindfulness. Saturday, turmeric for purification. Sunday, dark chocolate for balance. This ritual is not about superstition. It is about rhythm. The Stoics taught that repetition creates virtue. Consistency, not intensity, builds mastery. As James Clear reminds us in Atomic Habits, small actions repeated consistently create massive transformation. The same applies to the body and mind. As you adopt these practices, pay attention to your inner dialogue. When you eat with gratitude, you slow time. When you move with awareness, you extend youth. When you think with discipline, you transcend age. These are not poetic claims. They are biochemical truths supported by modern science and ancient philosophy alike. Stress hormones accelerate aging. Gratitude reduces them. Impulsivity shortens focus. Reflection strengthens it. The Stoics discovered centuries ago what neuroscience confirms today. Virtue is physiology. But let us not mistake the path. The Stoic does not chase immortality. He seeks alignment. He accepts that death is part of nature's order, yet he refuses to die before his time, not in body nor in spirit. Every day of discipline adds clarity. Every act of mindfulness slows decay. And every breath taken with purpose becomes a rebellion against mindless living. When you walk through the market or grocery store, remember this: your basket reflects your philosophy. The items you choose are votes for your future self. Choose harmony, simplicity, and nature will choose you in return. Choose excess, haste, and numbness, and you will age faster than your years. The Stoic application is not rigid. It is flexible, like the olive tree that bends but never breaks. Some days you will fail. Some days you will forget. But even then, your awareness is progress. As Brian Holiday wrote, "The obstacle is the way." If you stumble into indulgence, use it as a lesson. Reflect, adjust, return to balance. This cycle of self-correction is the very essence of the Stoic diet, not of food, but of the soul. By the end of this section, understand this truth: youth is not lost with age. It is lost with distraction. Every time you choose presence over impulse, simplicity over excess, gratitude over complaint, you reverse aging. Not in years, but in vitality, in lightness, in peace. The Stoic does not count candles on a cake. He counts moments of awareness. So, as you continue on this path, remember that nourishment is not only physical. It is the way you feed your mind with thoughts, your heart with meaning, and your soul with virtue. That is the true diet of the Stoic, one that neither time nor decay can touch. The body ages, the skin folds, the hair fades, but the soul ages only when we abandon it. Welcome back to Stoic Valor, the place where wisdom meets discipline, and where every reflection is an invitation to rise above the noise and return to your essence. You have walked through the theory, understood the practice. Now it is time to look inward and ask, what does it truly mean to age with virtue? Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." These words strike deeper with every passing year. To the Stoic, aging is not loss, it is revelation. Each wrinkle, each moment of fatigue, each silent evening is life whispering, the time is sacred, that you are not here to resist it, but to harmonize with it. The Stoic does not fight against the passing of time. He learns to move with it gracefully, intentionally, like a river that accepts its flow but never forgets its direction. You have learned the 7 hidden foods, symbols of strength, patience, and equilibrium. But the deeper teaching lies beyond the plate. Every time you choose to nourish yourself with awareness, you are slowing a much greater decay, the corrosion of purpose. Aging is not an external process. It begins when we stop growing inwardly. Seneca warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." You cannot control the length of your life, but you can master its depth. Pause for a moment. Feel your breath. The air that enters you has crossed oceans, mountains, the lungs of generations. You are not separate from nature. You are a continuation of it. When you live in alignment with it, your vitality is restored. The olive oil you pour into your meal is not only fat, it is sunlight distilled into nourishment. The green tea you sip is not only flavor, it is patience made liquid. The walnut, the lentil, the pomegranate, they are messengers of harmony, reminding you that simplicity is power. Epictetus taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." The greatest anti-aging secret, then, is mastery, not over others, but over impulse, over distraction, over fear. You do not need to be young to feel alive. You need to be awake. To live stoically is to live awake, to taste, to see, to breathe, to act with intention. And when you live this way, time becomes an ally. The years no longer take from you. They refine you. Picture a candle. With each passing day it burns, but its light deepens. That is the Stoic flame, steady, unwavering, unafraid. The wax may diminish, but the glow expands. Your body will one day return to the earth, but your virtue, your courage, your presence, your kindness, these are timeless. The foods you eat, the thoughts you cultivate, the habits you repeat, they are the caretakers of that inner flame. Feed it wisely. Now let us confront a truth that most avoid. You will age. You will weaken. You will fade. But that is not tragedy. It is the law of nature. And the Stoic does not resist nature. He honors it. He walks with it. He gives thanks for each sunrise and accepts each sunset. What matters is not how many years remain, but how many moments you awaken to. Every morning you rise with purpose. You add life to your years. Every act of discipline is a victory against decay. Every choice made in awareness is a step toward immortality of spirit. Robin Sharma wrote, "Don't live the same year 70 times and call it a life." The Stoic agrees. To live long without growth is to live shallowly. To live deeply, even briefly, is to transcend time. Aging is inevitable, but decay is optional. You decay only when you cease to nourish your mind with wisdom, your body with respect, and your soul with meaning. So, as you close your eyes tonight, remember, your body is not failing you. It is following its course. The question is, are you following yours? Are you aligning your habits with your higher nature, or are you letting the noise of the world dictate your rhythm? The Stoic path is quiet but powerful. It does not promise eternal youth. It promises eternal awareness. In the final reflection, consider this. Life is not measured by how many breaths you take, but by how many times you breathe consciously. Every mindful act, a meal prepared with gratitude, a conversation held with patience, a thought examined before speaking. These are small victories over time, because time cannot corrode what is lived with purpose. And when your last day comes, you will not fear aging, because you will have lived fully. Seneca said, "Life is long if you know how to use it." Those who live in accordance with nature, with temperance, with virtue, they do not die old. They die complete. If this message helped you see with more clarity, share it with those who need it. Subscribe to Stoic Valor and let us continue walking together. not in pursuit of eternal youth, but of eternal wisdom. For the Stoic knows the goal is not to live forever, but to live rightly, and in doing so to live beyond time itself.